The planet Epsilon 7 was cold and rocky, perfect for military training. Colonel Yu Jiwan stood on a hill looking down at the fake alien base. It looked real. It had walls, guards, and weapons. The Council had built it to test their own soldiers. Behind her, 12 human Special Forces soldiers waited. They looked calm. Too calm for the aliens watching them, is that all? Asked Counselor Vextar. He pointed at the small group of humans. Just 12 soldiers? Yes, said Dr. Kang Wonshik. He was there to watch how the aliens reacted. 12 is a full team. The blue alien with 4 arms laughed. 12 soldiers to attack a fortress? This is a joke. Our forces need at least 200 soldiers for this target, said the snake alien. Maybe more. Colonel Yu looked at the aliens. She saw doubt in their eyes. Good. Let them think this was too easy. The target is a standard fortress, she said. Her voice was calm and professional. My team will enter, capture the command center, and disable all defenses. Time limit is 30 minutes. 30 minutes. The purple alien with 6 eyes was shocked. Our best teams need 6 hours. Different training, Colonel Yu said simply. She turned to her team. Sergeant Major Choi Do-yun stepped forward. He was a big man with scars on his hands. He had been fighting for 20 years. Standard infiltration? He asked. Basic level, Colonel Yu replied. Remember, we have guests. Private Han So-young smiled. She was only 19, but she had already completed the hardest military training in human space. Should I handle the guards, Colonel? All of you handle guards. Work together, make it look easy. The aliens were recording everything. Their sensors watched the humans carefully. They wanted to see how these special forces were different from regular human soldiers. What they saw first was nothing. The 12 humans walked toward the fortress and then disappeared. Not with machines or magic. They just stopped being visible. Where did they go? Asked Vextar. Dr. Kang checked his sensors. They are still there, moving toward the base. I cannot see them. Neither can our equipment, said the floating jellyfish alien. Its voice sounded worried. The fortress had 30 alien guards. These were experienced soldiers from different worlds. They had good weapons and training. They were watching for enemies. They saw nothing. Private Han So-young moved like a ghost. She climbed the wall without making any sound. Her boots found tiny cracks in the stone. Her hands gripped edges that looked too small to hold anything. At the top of the wall, 2 guards stood watching the hills. They talked quietly about their home planets. They did not see the small human girl behind them. Han So-young touched each guard on the neck. They fell down sleeping. She caught them before they hit the ground. No noise, no alarm. Guards down on the east wall, she whispered into her radio. Copy, replied Sergeant Major Choi. He was already inside the fortress. He had found a window that the aliens thought was too small for anyone to use. The fortress had many rooms. Guard posts, weapon storage, command center. Choi Do-yun moved through them like smoke. He knew exactly where to go. Human training taught soldiers to understand buildings quickly. 2 alien guards walked down a hallway. They carried energy weapons and wore armor. They looked dangerous. Choi Do-hyun stepped out of the shadows behind them. He tapped both guards on their shoulders. When they turned around, he smiled and pointed at their necks. Both guards looked down and saw small marks on their armor. You are dead, Choi Do-hyun said politely. Please lie down. The guards were so surprised they did what he said. They had never seen anyone move so quietly. Outside the fortress, the alien observers watched their sensors with growing fear. The green dots that showed the fortress guards kept disappearing. One by one, they all went dark. How are they doing this? Whispered the purple alien. Dr. Kang Wonshik was taking notes on his tablet. Interesting stress responses, he said quietly. What? Asked Vextar. Your people are showing signs of fear. Heart rate up, breathing faster, defensive postures. We are not afraid, Vextar said loudly. We are concerned. Inside the command center of the fortress, 6 alien guards watched their screens. They saw their friends disappearing from the sensors, but they could not see any enemies. Should we call for help? Asked one guard. From who? Asked another. This is a test. There is nowhere to run. The door to the command center opened. A young human girl walked in. She looked like she was going to school, not attacking a fortress. She smiled and waved. Hello, said Private Han So-young. Are you the command team? The guards stared at her. How did she get past all the security? How did she open a locked door? Why was she so calm? You need to surrender now, Han So-young said. Her voice was kind, like she was asking about the weather. The fortress is captured. Captured? One guard reached for his weapon. Han So-young moved. The aliens watching later said she became a blur. In 2 seconds, all 6 guards were on the floor. Their weapons were in her hands. None of them were hurt, just shocked. See? She said, still smiling. Captured. Outside, Colonel Yu checked her watch. Time, she announced. The alien observers looked confused. Time for what? The exercise is complete. 28 minutes. Complete. But we did not see anything. Colonel Yu spoke into her radio. Team, show yourselves. 12 humans appeared around the fortress. They seemed to step out of empty air. Some came from shadows that looked too small to hide anyone. Others climbed down from walls that appeared impossible to climb. Sergeant Major Choi Do-hyun walked out of the front door of the fortress. He carried a flag that showed the fortress was captured. All objectives complete, Colonel, he reported. 30 guards neutralized. No injuries. Command center secured. The alien guards slowly came out of the fortress. They looked embarrassed and confused. They had been beaten by 12 humans who they never saw coming. How? Asked Vextar. His voice was very quiet. Training, said Colonel Yu. We practice moving without being seen. We learn to climb and fight and hide. But your sensors are good. But we know how to avoid them. Dr. Kang Won-shik looked at his readings. Several aliens were showing signs of panic. 2 of the smaller aliens had fainted when Han So-young appeared from what they thought was solid rock. Should we show them advanced techniques? Asked Sergeant Major Choi. Colonel Yu looked at the terrified alien faces. Some were shaking. Others were backing away from the humans. No, she said. I think that is enough for today. But we barely used any real skills, said Private Han So-young. We did not even use weapons. That is the point. They wanted to see our special forces. Now they have. Vextar walked over to Colonel Yu. His legs were not steady. This was basic training? Yes, my team was being gentle. We did not want to scare your observers too much. Gentle? The word came out like a whisper. We used no weapons, no advanced techniques, no real combat skills. Just basic infiltration and building clearing. The aliens looked at each other. If this was basic, what were the advanced techniques like? Dr. Kang Won-shik approached Colonel Yu. Colonel, I need to ask you something. Yes? How many levels of training do you have above this? Colonel Yu thought for a moment. Above basic infiltration? Maybe 6 or 7 levels. Depends how you count. 6 or 7? Basic infiltration is what we teach new soldiers in their first year. After that, they learn more advanced skills. The purple alien made a sound like choking. This is first-year training? For special forces, yes. Regular soldiers learn different things. What do they learn in later years? Asked Dr. Kang. Colonel Yu smiled. It was not a scary smile, but somehow it made the alien step backward. That would be telling, she said. As the ships prepared to leave Epsilon 7, the alien leaders sat in their meeting rooms. They were very quiet. Nobody wanted to talk about what they had seen. Finally, Vextar spoke. They made it look easy. Too easy, agreed the snake alien. Our best soldiers could not do what that child did. She is not a child, said the blue alien. She is a weapon that looks like a child. Dr. Kang Won-shik was writing his report. The psychological impact on the alien observers was severe. Many were questioning everything they knew about military power. But the worst part was not what they had seen. The worst part was knowing that the humans had been holding back. Way back. Captain Lee Min-ho sat in the corner of the big meeting room. He watched 12 different alien leaders talk very loudly. They were all angry and scared. The room smelled bad because some aliens got scared when they sweated. The humans are too dangerous, shouted Counselor Vextar. He was a big lizard-like creature with green scales. His yellow eyes looked around the room. They destroy our enemies too easily. Lee Min-ho wanted to laugh, but he kept his face serious. These aliens thought humans were scary because of their basic soldiers. If only they knew the truth. Ambassador Park Hyeri stood up from her seat. She was a small woman, but she had a strong voice. Honored council members, please listen. Our soldiers are just normal people. They are farmers and shop workers. They do their military service for 2 years like everyone else. Lies, hissed a snake-like alien from the planet Serpentis. Normal soldiers do not destroy entire pirate fleets with just 3 ships. Normal soldiers do not clear out enemy bases with only 10 people. added a blue-skinned alien with 4 arms. Lee Minho remembered that battle report. It was from last month. A group of human colonists called for help when space pirates attacked their mining station. The nearest human patrol sent 1 small ship with 12 soldiers. The pirates had 40 ships and 300 fighters. The human soldiers won in 2 hours. They captured all the pirates and their ships. Nobody died except 3 pirates who refused to give up. The human commander wrote in his report that it was a quiet Tuesday and good training for the new recruits. "Your people fight like monsters," said a floating jellyfish creature. Its voice came from a machine because it could not speak in air. "Our best warriors need months to plan what your children do in minutes." Park Hyeri looked tired. She had been explaining this for 3 hours. "They are not children. They are trained soldiers. But yes, they are not our best fighters." The room went very quiet. All the aliens stared at her. "What do you mean?" asked Vextar slowly. "I mean our regular army is made of normal citizens doing their service time. They learn basic fighting and then go back to their normal jobs." A purple alien with 6 eyes started shaking. "If these are your normal soldiers, what are your special forces like?" Lee Minho felt worried. He could see where this was going. Park Hyeri looked at him. Her eyes asked him what she should say. Lee Minho had been a soldier for 15 years. He knew about the special forces. He had trained with them once. That was enough for him. He was happy to be a regular army officer. "Well," Park Hyeri said carefully, "our special forces are more trained." "How much more trained?" asked the blue alien. "They trained for many years. They learn different skills." "Show us," said Vextar suddenly. "We demand to see these special forces." Other aliens agreed quickly. "Yes, show us your real army. We need to know what we are dealing with. The Council has the right to know about military forces in our space." Lee Minho closed his eyes. This was very bad. These aliens had no idea what they were asking for. Human special forces were not like other armies. They were something else completely. "Honored Council," Park Hyeri said, "I do not think this is a good idea." "Why?" demanded Vextar. "What are you hiding?" "We are not hiding anything. But our special forces are different. They might scare you." The aliens laughed. Some made sounds like barking. Others clicked their teeth. "Scare us?" said the snake alien. "We have seen war for 1,000 years. We fought the machine wars. We survived the dark time. Nothing scares us." Lee Minho wanted to tell them they were wrong. These aliens had never met anything like human special forces, but he could not speak unless Park Hyeri asked him to. "Your regular soldiers already scare our people," said a small, furry alien. "But we need to know the truth. How strong are your real warriors?" Park Hyeri looked around the room. Every alien was staring at her. They all wanted the same thing. They wanted to see human special forces. "If you are sure," she said slowly, "we can arrange a small demonstration." "When?" asked Vextar. "I will need to talk to my government. Maybe in 3 weeks. 3 weeks is acceptable," said the floating jellyfish. "But we want to see everything, no hiding. No tricks, Park Hyeri promised. But Lee Minho heard something in her voice. She was scared too. The meeting ended an hour later. The aliens left the room talking excitedly. They thought they would finally learn the truth about human military power. Lee Minho walked with Park Hyeri to her office. Neither of them spoke until the door closed. "This is a disaster," Park Hyeri said. She sat down heavily in her chair. "Yes," Lee Minho agreed. "They have no idea what they just asked for." "Should I call General Kim?" Lee Minho nodded. General Kim Taiho was the head of Human Colonial Defense Forces. He would need to know about this immediately. Park Hyeri turned on her communication device. General Kim's face appeared on the screen. He was an older man with gray hair and serious eyes. "Ambassador Park, Captain Lee, what can I do for you?" "General, we have a problem. The Council wants to see our special forces." General Kim was quiet for a long time. Then he rubbed his forehead with his hand. "They asked for this?" "They demanded it," Lee Minho said. "They think we are lying about our regular troops being normal soldiers." "How much do they want to see?" "Everything," Park Hyeri said. "They want a full demonstration." General Kim sighed. "I was afraid this would happen someday. Our people are too good at fighting. These aliens do not understand that we come from a death world." "What should we do?" asked Park Hyeri. "Give them what they want. But start small. Send Colonel Yu and her team. Tell them to be gentle." "Gentle?" Lee Minho asked. Tell them not to scare the aliens too much. We do not want to start a panic. After the call ended, Lee Minho and Park Hyeri sat in silence. Do you think this will end badly? Park Hyeri asked. Lee Minho thought about Colonel Yu Ji-won and her Special Forces team. He remembered watching them train. They moved like shadows and fought like demons. They could do things that seemed impossible. I think, Lee Minho said carefully, the aliens are about to learn something they will never forget. 3 weeks later, ships began arriving at the demonstration site. Alien commanders and observers came from across the galaxy. They brought their best sensors and recording equipment. They wanted to document everything. On the human ship, Colonel Yu Ji-won checked her equipment one more time. Her team of 12 soldiers did the same. They had been told to go easy on the aliens. Remember, she told her team, these aliens have never seen real soldiers before. Do not shock them too much. Sergeant Major Choi Do-hyun smiled. Yes, Colonel. We will be gentle. Private Han So-young, the youngest member of the team, raised her hand. Colonel, how gentle. Pretend you are training new recruits. Show them basic skills only. The soldiers nodded. They understood. This would be like playing with children, but the aliens were expecting to see humanity's most dangerous warriors. They had no idea that what humans called basic skills would change everything they thought they knew about war. The demonstration was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. Admiral Ro Min-jae did not want to be here. She stood on the bridge of the human ship Soul's Pride and watched alien warships gather around them. Big ships. Ships that could destroy planets. They really want to see our naval power? She asked Major Song Yoon-ji. Yes, Admiral. The Council is demanding a full demonstration. Admiral Ro sighed. She had hoped the ground forces demonstration would be enough. But the aliens thought maybe human space forces were different. Weaker. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Captain Oh, what is our status? She asked. Captain Oh Jae-won looked up from his controls. He was young for a ship captain, only 35. But he had been flying ships since he was 16. All systems green, Admiral. Training ammunition loaded. Safety limits active. Good. We do not want to accidentally hurt anyone. Through the window, Admiral Ro could see the alien dreadnought, Cosmic Fury. It was huge. 10 times bigger than Soul's Pride. It had enough weapons to fight a whole fleet. The aliens thought size meant power. They were about to learn better. Incoming message from the alien flagship, reported technician Nam Chae-young. She was the youngest person on the bridge, just 18 years old. This was her first real mission. Put it on screen. The face of Admiral Zaktor appeared. He was from the warrior race called the Hegemony. His people had been fighting space wars for 3,000 years. He looked at Soul's Pride and smiled with too many teeth. Human ship, you are very small. Are you sure you want to do this test? We are ready, Admiral Zaktor. Good. We will begin with basic maneuvers. Try to keep up. The alien dreadnought began to move. It was fast for such a big ship. Its engines glowed bright blue as it started a complex flying pattern. Captain O watched the alien ship and yawned. Should I follow them, Admiral? Yes, but be gentle. Soul's Pride moved like a dancer. It followed every move the alien ship made, but better. Faster, smoother. When the dreadnought turned left, Soul's Pride was already there. When it climbed, the human ship was waiting above it. How are they doing that? Admiral Zaktor's voice sounded confused. Good pilots, Admiral Ro replied. No ship that small should be so fast. Captain O smiled. Admiral, should I show them real speed? No, stay gentle. The test continued. The alien ship tried harder maneuvers. Sharp turns that should break smaller ships apart. Sudden stops that created dangerous forces. Complex patterns that needed perfect control. Soul's Pride did everything perfectly. It made the difficult look easy. In the alien observation ships, panic was growing. Major Song Yoon-ji watched the reports come in. Alien commanders were sending urgent messages to their governments. Some were already writing surrender documents. Admiral, she said quietly, the aliens are getting scared. Already? We have not even started fighting yet. That might be the problem. Our ship is making their best dreadnought look slow and clumsy. Admiral Ro looked at the sensor readings. The alien ship was using maximum power just to keep up. Soul's Pride was using only 30% of its engines. Incoming message, reported Nam Chae-young. Admiral Zaktor again? No, Admiral. It is from Counselor Vexitar. The lizard alien's face appeared on screen. He looked sick. Admiral Rowe, your ship. How is it so fast? Good engineering, counselor. But it is so small compared to our dreadnought. Size is not everything. Can we see your weapons now? Admiral Rowe looked around her bridge. Her crew was trying not to laugh. They all knew what was coming, of course. Captain O, prepare for weapons test. Training rounds only, Admiral? Yes, and minimum power. Soul's Pride turned to face 3 target drones that the aliens had put in space. They were tough targets, made to survive heavy weapons fire. Fire when ready, Admiral Rowe said. Captain O pressed one button. 3 beams of light shot from Soul's Pride. They hit all 3 targets at the same time. The targets did not just break apart. They turned into dust. Silence filled the communication channels. What kind of weapons are those? Admiral Zaktor's voice was very small. Basic energy cannons, replied Captain O. Nothing special. Nothing special? They destroyed reinforced targets instantly. Well, yes. That is what weapons do. Major Song Yunji was reading psychological reports from the alien ships. Heart rates were going crazy. Stress hormones were at dangerous levels. 3 alien officers had already asked to be taken to medical. Admiral, she whispered, I think we should stop. But the aliens were not done. We want to see a real fight, demanded Admiral Zaktor. Ship-to-ship combat. Admiral Rowe closed her eyes. You want us to fight your dreadnought? Yes, show us your real power. Are you sure? Your ship is much bigger. We are sure. Admiral Rowe looked at Captain O. He shrugged. Computer, set weapons to lowest training level. Set engines to 40% maximum. Set shields to training mode. Settings confirmed, Admiral. The 2 ships moved apart. Soul's Pride looked like a tiny fish next to the massive alien dreadnought. Begin, shouted Admiral Zaktor. What happened next became the most studied space battle in galactic history. Soul's Pride moved first. It did not fly toward the big alien ship. It disappeared. Where did it go? Admiral Zaktor's voice was confused. The human ship appeared behind the dreadnought. It fired once. A small beam hit the alien ship's rear shields. The shields collapsed completely. How did you get behind us so fast? Soul's Pride disappeared again. This time it appeared above the dreadnought. Another small beam hit the top shields. They failed too. This is impossible. The human ship kept moving. It was everywhere at once. Above, below, behind, in front. Each time it appeared, it fired one small shot. Each shot destroyed part of the alien ship's defenses. In 5 minutes, the massive dreadnought was completely helpless. All its weapons were disabled. All its shields were gone. Its engines were offline. Soul's Pride stopped in front of the alien flagship. Both ships floated quietly in space. How? Was all Admiral Zaktor could say. Training, Admiral Rowe replied. But your ship is so small. Small ships are faster, harder to hit, better for fighting. Captain O leaned toward the Admiral. Should I tell him about the real warships? No, she said quickly. But Technician Nam Cheung was young and excited. She had never seen aliens before today. She wanted to be helpful. Do not worry about our ship being small, she said into the communication system. Soul's Pride is just a training vessel. Real warships are much bigger and stronger. Every sound stopped. Every alien on every ship went completely quiet. Admiral Rowe put her face in her hands. Training vessel? Admiral Zaktor's voice was barely a whisper. Oh yes, Nam Cheung said happily. This ship is for teaching new officers. The real Navy has much better ships. Much better? Oh, lots better. This ship cannot even fight properly. The safety systems stop us from using good weapons or fast speeds. Admiral Rowe wanted to throw Nam Cheung out of an airlock. But it was too late. The truth was out. Major Song Yunji was reading her sensors and going pale. On every alien ship, crew members were fainting. Some were crying. Others were writing letters to their families. Admiral, she whispered, we have a problem. I know. The Zephyrian delegation is preparing surrender documents. We are not at war with them. I do not think they care. Admiral Zaktor's voice came through the speakers again. It sounded very old and tired. If this is a training ship, what do your real warships look like? Admiral Rowe realized that everything had changed. The aliens now knew that humanity had been hiding its true strength. There was no going back to the way things were. She looked around her bridge. Her young crew was staring at her, waiting for orders. These were good people. They did not want to scare anyone. They just wanted to do their jobs. "I think," she said carefully, "it is time for an honest conversation." In the days that followed, emergency sessions were called across the galaxy. Every government wanted to know the same thing. If human training ships could destroy their best warships, what could human battle fleets do? The answer, they were learning, was anything they wanted. And that was the most terrifying thought of all. President Lee Sionho had never seen the Galactic Council chamber so full. Every seat was taken. Representatives from hundreds of worlds had come to hear what he would say. Their faces showed fear, anger, and confusion. He walked to the speaking platform slowly. Behind him came General Bae Sunmi, Dr. Im Young-ho, and Secretary Kim Borum. They all looked calm, but inside they knew this moment would change everything. "Honored members of the Council," President Lee began, "you have asked for the truth about humanity's military capabilities. Today you will have that truth." The chamber was completely silent. Even the air recycling system seemed quiet. "But first you must understand where we come from." Dr. Im Young-ho stepped forward. He was a thin man with kind eyes, but today his face was serious. He touched a control and the chamber's main screen lit up. The image showed a blue and green planet. It looked beautiful and peaceful. "This is Earth," Dr. Im said. "Our homeworld. It looks nice, does it not?" Murmurs of agreement came from the aliens. "It is also the most dangerous planet we have found in known space." The murmurs stopped. Dr. Im touched another control. Now the screen showed Earth's history. Ice ages that froze entire continents, volcanoes that blocked out the sun, earthquakes that split the ground apart. For millions of years, Earth tried to kill everything that lived on it. Most species died. The ones that survived had to become very good at staying alive. Images of Earth animals appeared. Lions hunting zebras, sharks eating seals, eagles diving on rabbits. Everything was eating something else. "On most worlds, evolution creates cooperation," Dr. Im continued. "Species learn to work together. On Earth, evolution created competition. Everything fights everything else all the time." A new image appeared. Early humans with simple tools fighting giant bears and saber-toothed cats. Humans survived by becoming the best hunters on a planet full of hunters. We learned to make tools, work in groups, and never give up. These skills made us the top predator on our world. Counselor Vextar raised his hand. "Doctor, many species have difficult homeworlds. This does not explain your military advantage." Dr. Im smiled sadly. "You think Earth was just difficult? Let me show you what human children do for fun." The screen changed again. It showed human children playing games. But these were not gentle games. They were war games. Children running around with toy weapons, hunting each other, celebrating when they killed their friends. "Human entertainment is based on conflict," Dr. Im explained. "Our movies, our books, our games, all about fighting and winning. What you call military training, we call childhood." Images of human sports appeared. Boxing matches where men hit each other until one fell down. Football games where players crashed into each other at high speed. Wrestling where people tried to hurt each other for fun. "These are not military exercises," Dr. Im said. "These are games, recreation, what humans do to relax." The aliens were staring at the screen in shock. Some were making notes. Others were shaking their heads. General Bae Sunmi stepped forward. She was a small woman, but she had commanded human forces for 30 years. Every alien in the chamber knew her reputation. "You want to know about our military structure," she said. "Very well." Secretary Kim Borum handed her a datapad. General Bae read from it like she was reading a shopping list. Human Colonial Defense Forces, 2 million active personnel. These are the soldiers you have been fighting. They receive basic training for 6 months, then serve for 2 years. She looked up at the aliens. "These are farmers, students, shop workers. After their service, they go home to normal jobs. They are not career soldiers." Worried whispers filled the chamber. "Human Planetary Guard, 500,000 active personnel. These are professional soldiers who protect our colonies. They train for 5 years minimum. You have met some of them." The whispers got louder. "Human Special Forces, 50,000 active personnel. These are the soldiers you saw on Epsilon 7. They trained for 10 years before their first mission." Several aliens stood up and started talking at once. General Bae waited for them to quiet down. "Human Deep Operations Command, 10,000 active personnel. These soldiers exist to fight wars that must never happen. You have never met them." "How many levels are there?" shouted Admiral Zaktor. 7 combat classifications above what you have seen. The chamber erupted. Aliens were yelling, some were crying, others were running for the exits. President Lee raised his hand for quiet. It took several minutes for order to return. We did not tell you this to scare you, he said. We told you because you demanded the truth. We have been trying to be good neighbors. Good neighbors? Vextar's voice cracked. You have been lying to us. We have been protecting you, President Lee replied. Secretary Kim Borum stepped forward. She was young, only 25, but she had worked with aliens for years. She understood their thinking. Honored Counsel, may I share some numbers with you? She read from her data pad. Last month, there was a pirate raid on the human colony Kepler 438b. The pirates had 60 ships and 800 fighters. The aliens listened carefully. Space piracy was a big problem for everyone. The colonists called for help. The nearest human patrol responded. 1 ship, 12 crew members. We know this story, said Vextar impatiently. The human ship disabled all 60 pirate vessels in 43 minutes. No human casualties. 300 pirates surrendered. The rest were captured. Kim Boram looked up from her pad. The human commander reported this as routine patrol action and good training for new crew. She touched her pad again. 2 weeks ago, the mining station on Rigel 7 was attacked by the Crimson Fleet. This is a military organization with 200 ships and advanced weapons. More worried sounds from the aliens. The Crimson Fleet was famous for being unbeatable. A human cargo ship happened to be nearby. It was carrying farm supplies to the colony. The crew was 4 people. 4 people? The blue alien with 4 arms sounded confused. The cargo ship crew disabled the entire Crimson Fleet in 18 minutes. They then delivered the farm supplies and reported the incident as minor delay in delivery schedule. The chamber was completely quiet now. The cargo ship captain was annoyed because the fight made them 3 hours late. He had to pay a penalty fee for late delivery. Dr. Im Young-ho took back the speaking platform. Do you understand now? These were not military actions to us. They were everyday events. Small problems that got in the way of normal life. He touched his controls again. The screen showed Earth's history, but different parts now. Wars between human nations, millions of people fighting with weapons that could destroy cities. For thousands of years, humans fought each other. We learned to build better weapons, better ships, better soldiers. We had to, or we died. Images of human weapons appeared. Nuclear bombs that could kill millions. Chemical weapons that poisoned the air. Biological weapons that caused plagues. We built these things to fight other humans. Other humans built them to fight us. Everyone had to get better at war, or lose everything. But you stopped fighting each other, said the snake alien hopefully. Yes, when we went to space, but we still remember how. President Lee returned to the speaking platform. Now you know the truth. Humans are not like other species. We are predators who learned to cooperate. Warriors who chose peace. But we never forgot how to fight. He looked around the chamber at all the scared alien faces. The question now is, what do we do about it? Vextar stood up slowly. His voice was very quiet. What do you want from us? The same thing we always wanted. To be friends, to trade, to explore space together, to solve problems without fighting. But you could conquer us all. President Lee nodded. Yes, we could. We choose not to. Why? Because conquest is easy. Building something good together is hard. Humans like challenges. The chamber was quiet for a long time. Finally, the floating jellyfish alien spoke. What happens if someone attacks human space? General Bay answered. Then they learn why the rest of the galaxy should be afraid of what humans call Tuesday. Tuesday? Asked Vextar. A normal day, she explained. Nothing special happening. The meeting continued for hours. Aliens asked many questions. Humans gave honest answers. By the end, everyone understood the new reality. Humanity was not just another member of the galactic community. They were the apex predators who had chosen to play nice. For now. 6 months had passed since the truth came out. The galaxy was a different place now. Ambassador Park Hyeri walked through the new Human Council Relations building on Nexus Prime. Everything had changed, but maybe for the better. Good morning. Ambassador, said Colonel Lee Minho. He was no longer a captain. His new job was running joint training programs between human and alien forces. Good morning, Colonel. How are the new students? Lee Minho smiled, but he looked tired. They are trying very hard. Maybe too hard. Through the window, Parkieri could see the training grounds. Alien soldiers from 12 different worlds were learning basic human fighting techniques. Half of them were in the medical center with stress injuries. The other half looked like they wanted to quit. The hegemony warriors are doing better than most, Lee Minho continued. But even they are having trouble with our basic fitness tests. And the others? The Zephyrian delegation asked for psychological counseling after yesterday's knife fighting class. They say watching humans move with blades gives them nightmares. Parkieri sighed. This was the new reality. Aliens who had been warriors for thousands of years were being trained by humans who thought war was just another job skill. Her communicator beeped. Ambassador, you have a call from Fleet Admiral Yoon Taejin. Put it through. The screen showed a man in his 50s with calm eyes and a quiet voice. Admiral Yoon commanded the Human Protection Fleet, 12 ships that now patrolled the entire galaxy's borders. Ambassador Park, I wanted to update you on our patrol reports. Good news, I hope. Mostly. The pirate attacks have stopped completely. Word has spread that humans are protecting Council space now. Most criminals have found other jobs. That is excellent news. There is one problem, though. Some of our ships are getting bored. Patrol duty is too quiet for them. Parkieri understood. Human military personnel were trained for constant action. Peaceful patrol duties made them restless. Any suggestions, Admiral? I was thinking we could start training exercises with Council forces. Give everyone something to do. Joint exercises. Very gentle ones. We do not want to traumatize anyone else. Before Parkieri could answer, alarms started ringing. Emergency lights flashed red throughout the building. Her communicator crackled with urgent messages. All stations, priority alert. Unknown vessels detected at the galaxy rim. Large fleet approaching Council space. Parkieri and Lee Minho ran to the command center. Inside, dozens of alien officers were working at control stations. Giant screen showed the edge of known space. Report, Parkieri demanded. Invasion fleet detected, said the duty officer. A nervous bird-like alien. 17,000 ships. Unknown design. They destroyed our outer monitoring stations without warning. Lee Minho studied the screen. 17,000? That is a serious invasion force. Council forces are mobilizing, continued the duty officer. Admiral Zaktor estimates we can gather 8,000 ships to defend against them. 8,000 against 17,000. Lee Minho shook his head. Bad odds. Parkieri was already reaching for her communicator. Get me Fleet Admiral Yoon, emergency priority. Admiral Yoon's face appeared immediately. Behind him, Parkieri could see the bridge of his flagship buzzing with activity. I assume you have seen the reports? She asked. Yes, my fleet is already moving to intercept. Admiral, there are 17,000 enemy ships. You only have 12. Admiral Yoon smiled. It was not a worried smile. 12 is plenty. We were getting bored with patrol duty anyway. Should I request additional forces from Earth? For 17,000 ships? No, that would be overkill. We can handle this. Lee Minho stepped closer to the screen. Admiral, what classification of threat is this? Admiral Yoon checked a display off-screen. Looks like a Tuesday-level event. Maybe Tuesday afternoon if they have decent weapons. Parkieri felt a chill. She remembered what General Bay had said about Tuesdays. Normal days. Nothing special happening. Admiral, are you sure 12 ships are enough? Ambassador, these aliens have never fought humans before. They have no idea what they are getting into. I almost feel sorry for them. The communication ended. Parkieri looked around the command center. Every alien officer was staring at her with fear in their eyes. 12 ships? Whispered the bird-like duty officer. Against 17,000? Human ships, Lee Minho reminded him. Still, Parkieri's communicator beeped again. This time it was Counselor Vextar. Ambassador, you must stop this madness. Admiral Yoon cannot fight an entire invasion fleet with 12 ships. Counselor, I trust Admiral Yoon's judgment. Trust? This is not about trust. This is about mathematics. 12 cannot defeat 17,000. Human mathematics work differently than yours. Before Vextar could respond, new alerts started coming in. The screen showed the Human Protection Fleet moving toward the invasion force. 12 small ships heading toward a massive enemy fleet. Contact in 40 minutes, reported the duty officer. Parkieri sat down to wait. She had seen human military demonstrations before. She knew what was probably about to happen, but she also knew the aliens needed to see it for themselves. 39 minutes later, the first reports came in. Human fleet has engaged the enemy. Visual contact established. The main screen showed the battle, or what should have been a battle. The invasion fleet was massive. Thousands of dark ships in tight formations. They moved like a swarm of angry insects toward Council space. The 12 human ships looked tiny in comparison. They spread out into a loose formation and accelerated toward the enemy. What happened next lasted exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. The human ships moved like dancers in a deadly ballet. They flowed between enemy formations, their weapons cutting through alien ships like knives through paper. Every shot hit perfectly. Every maneuver was flawless. The invasion fleet tried to respond. They fired thousands of weapons at the human ships. None of them hit. The humans were always somewhere else, always moving, always attacking from unexpected directions. How are they doing that? Vextar's voice was barely a whisper. Lee Minho watched the battle with professional interest. Standard fleet tactics. They are using the enemy's size against them. Big formations cannot turn quickly. Standard, basic space combat. They teach this to first-year naval students. On screen, the invasion fleet was falling apart. Ships crashed into each other trying to avoid human weapons. Formations broke down as captains panicked. Some alien ships started shooting at their own forces by mistake. In less than 5 minutes, it was over. 17,000 invasion ships were floating dead in space. Not destroyed, disabled. The humans had been careful not to kill unless they had to. Admiral Yoon's voice came through the communication system. Ambassador Park, the external threat has been neutralized. Enemy fleet disabled, survivors being processed. Estimated casualties minimal. The command center was completely silent. Every alien was staring at the screen in shock. 17,000 ships, the duty officer said, numbly. Defeated in 4 minutes, added another. Alien by 12 humans, Park Hyeri stood up and addressed the room. Honored colleagues, you have just seen why humans chose cooperation over conquest. We could rule this galaxy easily. Instead, we choose to protect it. Vextar appeared on screen again. His face showed mixed emotions, relief, gratitude, and terror. Ambassador, the Council owes humanity a debt we can never repay. You owe us nothing, Counselor. We are all neighbors here. Neighbors help each other. But the power you have shown, power is only useful if you use it wisely. We choose to use ours to protect peaceful civilizations, not to conquer them. Later that day, Park Hyeri sat in her office with Lee Minho. They were writing reports about the day's events. Do you think they finally understand? Asked Lee Minho. I think they understand that we could conquer them. I hope they also understand why we do not want to. And if someone else attacks Council space, Park Hyeri smiled, then they will learn what humans are really capable of when we stop being gentle. Through her window, she could see alien ships returning from the battle site. They were carrying survivors from the invasion fleet. Those aliens would spread the word throughout the galaxy. Do not attack Council space. The humans are watching. Her communicator beeped with a message from Admiral Yoon. Ambassador, mission complete. Fleet returning to patrol duties. Please let me know if you need anything else handled. She typed back. Thank you, Admiral. Hopefully we can return to boring patrol work now. Boring work is good work, came his reply. It means everyone is safe. Park Hyeri leaned back in her chair and looked at the stars through her window. 6 months ago, the galaxy had been afraid of humanity. Now they were grateful for human protection. It was better this way. Instead of being conquerors, humans were guardians. Instead of ruling through fear, they led through strength and choice. The galaxy was learning that the most dangerous predators were not the ones who hunted everything. They were the ones who chose what to hunt. And humanity had chosen to hunt only those who threatened the innocent. That, Park Hyeri thought, was the best possible outcome for everyone, even on a Tuesday.